Welcome to another Tech Tips on Tuesday. Last week I showed you how to control this train with the H&H motor driver with an Arduino Nano. In the beginning of the Tech Tips I showed you what actions these buttons had. So green was starting the train, yellow was slowing down the train to a stop, and red was an emergency button to stop the train. So this week we're gonna look into the function to control the power on, start and increase of speed with the green button, a decrease of speed, a power off with the yellow button, and an emergency stop with the red button. So green will be a power on, train start, a train increase, speed, and then it stops at the maximum speed of 120. So the power on will be speed 45. The train start at 70, and then we have a increase to 120. If I do a yellow, then it will do a train decrease, speed. So it's from 120 down to 70. And then it will do a train stop, which is 45. And then it will do a power off, which is 0. And then we have the red. And there will be an emergency stop. Which goes immediately to 0. So those are the functions which we're gonna create. But first, the increase and decrease. The power on this train start, that would be simple. It's just writing these values to the PWM speed pin. And the increase and decrease, those are the difficult ones. So this is what we're gonna do today. So if you're interested, stay tuned and I will be back shortly. So welcome back. So now we're gonna concentrate on the functions of each button and also the functions on how to program these buttons and the actions to perform. I moved everything out of the loop function to make it easier and put it into the setup. So I'm gonna remove every entry out of the setup as soon when we have finished this. So let's start with it. One correction on the previous script. Since I'm gonna use displays to show you the status of this train in future programs, I changed the PWM speed pin to 5 instead of 3, what it was the last time. So, but that is just to make it easier for me to control this train. So let's dig into the functions, and the first function would be to power on the train. So I created an old loop, so it will not use anything of this. We're gonna work in the regular loop, and of course in the setup only the necessary items are listed. So first of all, we're gonna make sure that the train and the power is off. So we're gonna do a analog write, and then to the train pin, that's PWM speed, and we're gonna write to it train NS1601 and then index number 0. So we're gonna make sure that the forward reverse 1 is low, the forward reverse 2 is low, and that the train speed is set to index 0. So let me put the index numbers here. Index numbering. This would be index 0, this is 1, this is 2, and 8. But we are gonna use a maximum speed of 120 for later on. So with this setup, I'm gonna make sure that the train will be off. So what we're gonna do next is first of all, we're gonna create a power on. So let's just simply start with a function called power on. It's a basic function. I do not want to have anything in it. So I'm gonna do a void power on and what needs to be in it. Actually, all these 3, digital write, forward, reverse, 1 and 2, and the speed will be in that power on as well. So one of those needs to be high. So I'm gonna put 1 to high and 2 to low, and I'm gonna use index number 1, which means it's 45, to put power on the track. I can copy this for a power off as well. So let me do a power off. So this would be a low, or I could just do a 0 here because that's index number 0. So now I have 2 functions, one which powers it on and the other one powers it off. So let's define the buttons. So I'm gonna define the green, red and yellow button. Define button green, and I use pin number 8 for green and red is 9. So now in the main loop, I would like to do a power on and a power off, but I want to detect a button. Well, we did already a button detection in the other programs. So we're gonna use if digital read button green equals low, then I'm gonna write it on the console. So I'm gonna write it here on the console. Then I'm gonna do a console print green button pressed, and I'm gonna do a power on. Next, for the power off, so I can actually copy this, can copy it twice. So the last one would be red, the red button pressed. So I'm gonna do a power off because the red button is pressed. Here with the yellow, so this needs to be yellow. I'm gonna do a start with a power off, but I will come into the other sections as well. So when green is pressed, I'm gonna do a power on. When yellow is pressed, because I'm gonna slightly go through these steps, then a power off is the last state. So actually this will be a train decrease speed function. Next will be a train stop and a power off. With this one, when the green button is pressed, we're gonna do a train start, a train increase speed until it reaches 120. So these functions will come later. So let's check if I didn't forget anything. So we made those functions and check on the green button, yellow button and red button, but I forgot to put the pin mode in it. So I put the pin mode to button red, that's an input with a internal pull-up resistor, the same for green and for yellow. But I also want to show on the program that the program is started. So I'm gonna do a print console. I'm gonna clear out a little bit of this, and I'm gonna do a print console press any button. I'm gonna upload it. It clears this screen and it says press any button. So let's see if the button press is detected. And I can hear that the power is on the train. Yellow turns the power off, and if I'm gonna press green again, I hear the train for having power, and red turns it off. So that's the first step. And you see on the screen that I indeed pressed the red button, the last button. So next, we're gonna do a start the engine for 70. So that would be a void train start, and a train start would be a high. I'm gonna concentrate only on the forward motion for this moment, and the index will be 2 because 2 is 70. We can also make a train stop, and that would be speed number 45. So this is speed number 70. Let me put it here, speed 70, remark, and this will be speed 45. So that would be this function, and I can release this function too. So let's check if everything is okay. So I'm gonna upload it. It says press any button. I'm gonna press the green button. And you see that the train starts moving. I'm gonna press the yellow button and the train stops, and the red button should completely do an emergency shutdown. Now comes the tricky part, because I want to do a increase of speed. So let's make the function first, void train increase speed. So I can actually use a for loop or a while through. So for now I'm gonna use a while. So I'm gonna create an integer, I equals train ns 1601, and the first speed is 70. So that's index number 2. I'm gonna do a while I smaller or equal to train ns 1601, and now I need to know the maximum speed, which is 4, so index number 4. Where is it? Here, so that would be 4. And what do I need to do? I need to write to that pin with the increased speed. So I'm gonna do a analog write PMW speed, and then I, which is my integer, I'm gonna do a print console speed of train is, and then it will be a string because the integer is a value. I'm gonna convert this value to a string, and I'm gonna wait, delay 400 milliseconds, and then next step is that I'm gonna add 1 to this loop. So this would be my train increase speed. So let's check, compiling the sketch. So let's upload it. So I didn't make a decrease yet, but only an increase. So it says press any button. I'm gonna press the green button, and let's see if the train wants to move. Oh, I forgot something, of course. Because this is the train increase speed. I need to comment this one out. So let's do it again. Let's upload it. So press any button, it says. So let's press green. And we should see that the train is going to try to put in motion. And you see that it slightly increases speed. So now I can do an emergency stop. So that one works. So now we're gonna create a decrease speed. And we need to set it just the opposite. It needs to be larger or equal to 2 to that speed. So not smaller as in the increase. And we need to subtract. So we can remove this one. Check it, no errors, upload it. Okay, it reports press a button. Gonna press the green button, and it starts rolling, rolling, rolling. I actually forgot to put a print out that it reaches 120, but you can see it at this console. It says speed 120, which is the maximum speed. And now we're gonna hit the yellow button and you will see that the train will decrease the speed and it will finally come to a halt. So you see that the train stops around 76. So let's do it again. I'm gonna press the green button. Let's make sure that it's away. This section is not completely correct. So, but it's increasing speed. And now we're gonna press the red button. And it immediately stops. So let's press the green button. It will increase its speed until it reaches 120. And I'm gonna press the yellow button to slow the train down back to a halt. So with the use of very simple functions, we can control the train. The only disadvantage about especially the increased speed and the decreased functions is that it uses a delay. And I'm gonna use in the next program the milliseconds. So if you're interested, stay tuned. So this is the way to control the speed of the train. In programs to come, I will convert this increased speed and decreased speed function with a millisecond function so that it doesn't hold up the program with the delay, but that it just continues, that the program just continues to run. We will see that in a later function where I want to use a remote control to control the train. So next week I'm gonna show you how to hook up a remote control to this train set, in which we're gonna use the remote control to select the train and then to start the train and stop the train with the same button. So if you're interested, stay tuned until next Tuesday. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos of these types, please consider to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get notified for further videos to come. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.